Hi guys, welcome to the video. Well, this is a follow-up video to the build of the 3D printed Grom, which you can see here. So I'll put a little bit of video up showing you being made on the 3D printer, and I said after it was completed we'd be going to give it its maiden flight. Well, as you can see from the thumbnail, you know, how hard can it be? It turned out to be quite hard for a number of reasons, and luckily I've got all the footage on the GoPro. So what I'm going to do is just tell you a little bit about the Grom if you've not seen one before, and then we'll look at the footage and I'll give you some commentary on the footage. Some of it's quite entertaining, so you know, grab a cup of tea or coffee or a beer, whatever you like. You know, sit down and relax and have a good laugh at my expense. Here she is. I'm not going to show you the other side of it to start with, but it's been in the wars from these launches and it's sort of survived. I'll explain it as we go further in the video. But basically what we've got is 3D printed. It has a flight controller inside, a Maytech F405 wing, and there's a carbon spar running through the middle, and that's something quite surprising, as you'll see later in the video. And it's got a 28 is it a 2807 motor with a 7x4 prop, and the battery I'm running on is a 4S 3300, and it sort of balances just about right. It's been quite a challenge to get it to launch, and so what we'll do is we'll go and have a look at the first video and I'll give you some commentary on what's actually happening. And so this has taken probably about 4 or 5 weeks to actually get it in the air. So sit back and enjoy. So guys, this was the first launch, and as you will see, it didn't end so well. So let's have a look at the first launch and I'll give you some commentary. So a good friend Martin at the Flying Club did the honours and launches for us, and as you can see, we've got a lot of rapeseed in the field, which actually proved to be, you know, a little bit of a saviour for it as well, you know, because it provides a bit of a cushion. That's as you'll see why we went quite close to it. So without further ado, let's have a look at it, and then I'll tell you what I think's happened at the end of it.
She can fly.
Yeah.
Looks like something out of 1930s.
Yeah. Well, let's go on in if you.
Yeah. Now remembering that she's got this automatic leveler, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just a little angle. I'm going to let it go like that.
Give it a good chuck, yeah.
Okay. Soft underneath.
Yeah. Go on then.
When you're ready.
Go on.
Yeah.
It started, but it was a bit slow. Yeah. So Martin's done the honours and found it. And as you see, it survived quite well. All that's happened is the wings have popped out. Oh dear, was it broke? I thought it was broken, but the wings had popped out, and it there was no damage. So it was the actual rapeseed, although it's a bit of a pain, and we have lost a couple of planes in here. Martin, that's actually retrieved it, has lost one of his planes in there, and we've been looking for it with the DJI Mini Pro 2, and we can't find it at all. We have found one that's gone in, but so yeah. So guys, what I think happened here, because I wasn't all that au fait with the iNav auto launch settings, I think although I had altered the delay between a chuck and the motor starting, I think it was just a bit too long. So as you can see, if we just have another look at it, it went off a fair bit before the actual motor started.
Go on.
And I think that was part of the reason, not the only reason. I later discovered some of the other reasons as well. So that's why I think launch 1 didn't work. So we're going to have a look at launch 2 now. So guys, what we're doing now is we're going to have a look at launch 2. Now this was on the same day, and Martin was he had to go fairly early, so I got one of the other guys, Peter, our club treasurer, who who's a good launcher. So let's just have a look at what's happened on this one.
So I'll do a bit of a run as well.
Right. There seems to be a lot of movement on that. Now let me put it in manual. So I've decided to go into manual mode for this one. And, right, and not the auto launch. Manual mode. There we are. So that was launch 2. Now, I think part of the problem there was when I built it, I didn't have any TPU, and they recommend to use. So I'll just turn it over here for you. They recommend to use TPU for the hinges, or you might be able to see the outline of where the hinges. But I didn't have any TPU, so I actually used some of this packing tape here, this 3M packing tape, which is quite good stuff, which I've used on loads of models. But I didn't have this full width on it. I only had some on there and a little bit on the other side. And to be honest, the ailerons weren't very secure. There was quite a lot of movement in them. So I think that was part of what happened. And I think the other thing that's happened, which I was later discovered, was that there was too much throttle. This motor is very powerful on here, and I think it just torque rolled. With the ailerons not being so good, it just went in. So I think that's what happened on that one. So that was launch number 2. So we're going to have a look at launch number 3. There's a few more to go yet. So guys, this is launch number 3. Now what I've done on the device of some of the guys at the flying field, with this being a plank type wing, they said they always seem to put quite a lot of reflex in. So what I did is I then put this 3M packing tape on the full width both sides, which made it a lot more made the ailerons a lot more solid in movement. So it made the ailerons a lot better. There was no play in them, but I put too much reflex in. So I did have the ailerons, as you can see, that I did have them up quite a bit, probably a good 2 or 3 mil, and the plane went off fine. But you'll see what happened. Guys, this is a good one. So let's have a look at this. We've got Nathan launching. Nathan's probably one of our best launchers at the flying field, and you know, he's done quite a few for me, and they're always good launches. So let's have a look at what happened. I thought we had success here. Sure. Yeah, it should start the motor as soon as you chuck it. Oh. Going well, going. Oh. Ah. I think the wings have survived, haven't they? Mm. Yeah. So what happened there, guys? I've got the auto launch right, and she went off a treat, but there was too much reflex in the aileron, and as much as I was pushing down in, I couldn't get it to come level, and so she just looped over, and you can see the result. Now the result of that was that I had to make a new fuselage, which is this one here. So I've still got some of the parts of the old fuselage, which proved to be quite handy, as you'll see later. The fuselage was destroyed, but surprisingly the wing survived and there was no damage on the wing. That's the one thing that surprised me about all of this. These wings are really strong. You know, I'm really amazed at how strong they are for being made in PLA+. So that was launch, what are we on now? So that's launch number 3. So what we're doing now is we're going on and have a look at launch number 4.
Where's that up there? I'll get rid of that hard bit.
You say when?
Let me just check I'm recording. I think I am. It's in manual at the moment, so
Is it?
yeah.
It's still moving. If I do that, it's tilting it slightly.
Yeah, I think it has got a little bit of.
This one's just still up a little.
Yeah. Go on then, give it a.
So when?
Go on then.
Oh, is it auto launch?
Yeah, yeah. Give it a
Right.
bit more towards that way. Yeah. Go on. Oh. I'll go and get it.
I would say you're about on that line of them tracks, wouldn't you?
I wonder if I put the drone up.
I think you're somewhere down on that track here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to put my waterproofs on.
So guys, after I print the new fuselage, it didn't take that long actually. I'll put a few pictures, I'll put a little bit of video up showing you making it. And it was, I think in total it took about 8 hours to do the fuselage, which wasn't bad. So I got everything transferred over, and then I went through and set all the ailerons up as straight. And I also went in and just checked the rates as well. I've been following a guy that you might have seen before. He's actually one of the iNav developers. I'll put a link up to his website. It's called Mr. D Falling with Style, I think. Guy's name is Darren. He's a really knowledgeable guy. He knows his stuff. So I've followed a lot of his videos on setting iNav up and the auto launch. So once I got it all ready, we went for another try. So without further ado, let's have a look at this one.
Should be alright.
Should be alright. It was constantly beeping for some reason. I didn't really get to the bottom of that. So
High, slight angle.
and Martin again is doing the honours. Right, give her a go on, give her a chuck then.
Not gonna.
No, it should do it itself. Yeah. Oh. It's a bit up in the air, that Martin. Yeah, she went vertical, I think.
It's falling out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just broke the.
Is it clipped back in or something?
You might be able to do some with it. So guys, what actually happened there? Martin didn't do the best launch, but I'm not blaming it at all for it, because it's you know, it's not the easiest thing to launch airplanes, especially with these, with the prop at the back. You're always a little bit wary of them. So whether it had gone away or not with a better launch, I don't know. I suspect it wouldn't, because I think one of the problems I found with it as well, which I'll explain in one of the other launches. So the only damage here was that the motor mount broke at the back, which is made of PTG. So I couldn't do any more that day, and luckily I bought another plane with me to fly. So we went back home, and one of the things I was suspecting, it wasn't getting enough forward airspeed. So I thought, how about trying it off a bungee? And so what I did is I have some bungee hooks, and I mounted a bungee hook on there. You can see it there. So I mounted the bungee hook. So the next launch is with the bungee. This is a good one, guys. So I thought I'd try it on the bungee to see if it wasn't getting enough forward airspeed to get some air over the wings to sort of counteract the torque effect of the motor. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what happens. It's a good one, this one. Are we ready?
We're ready, mate. Yeah.
So there we are, set up on the bungee. You got to laugh, haven't you? There it was in slow motion.
I said I wouldn't swear. I'm not swearing.
I mean, no, like
Martin promised not to swear, but he did. So let's go and inspect the damage.
You know what it was? I gave it too much throttle and it torque rolled.
What's quite amazing here, guys, that the battery came through the fuselage. It's broke the carbon spar, but the wings have survived without any problem. which is so. These are the actual wings that were in that bungee launch. I haven't reprinted them at all. So that was launch number 5. So I thought, here we go. I'm going to have to print another fuselage. So I got home and I started inspecting it, and the damage was all around here, as you can see. And what I did, as you can see on, this was from the previous fuselages, well, the other fuselage, this was the original fuselage. So what I decided to do was just see if I could patch it up enough to get it in the air, and once I've got it in the air, I could get it trimmed out, and once I've got it flying nice, I will then print a new fuselage for it. So all I did is I just cut bits and pieces out, glued it as best I could. There's lots of bits inside. The only new bit I did print out was the nose cone here where the camera was. Now the camera did suffer a little bit of damage in that. So what I did is I mounted the camera up here out the way. The only damage was it pulled there's a little 2-pin connector where you can change the settings on the camera. So it pulled that off, but the camera itself still works okay. So I patched it all up as best I could, and then we went off to the field again. So let's see what happens on the next one. So guys, with it patched up and looking a little bit worse for wear, but still flyable, I decided to go down the field again, and this was just this weekend. That's so we're on the 30th now. So it was on the so we're on Tuesday now. So this was on Saturday, and we had a glorious day down there that day, and the weather's changed a bit since then. But let's have a look on this one. So Nathan again is doing the launch.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Go on then. Whee!
At last. Although I got it into the air, it was very twitchy and needed some alterations. But yeah, problem with these little planes on a GoPro like this, they're just a dot in the sky.
Thanks, Nathan. No, you can't do it on here.
I've got it in
in
horizon mode on iNav, and as you may know, horizon mode it starts off a bit like angle mode, so it restricts your movement. Then once you get past a certain stick movement, you've got like full movement. And I've since realised I've got far too much movement on the ailerons, and it did cause a few hairy moments when turning it, as you'll see.
Oh.
Slow it down. You did well there.
Just about over here, it's starting to get away from me a little bit.
Yeah. Transparent element.
one of the problems I found on this day, because you can see the sky is as clear as anything, was orientation on it. It was, with it being quite small, it was quite difficult to work out which way round it was. So I think round about here I've decided I'm going to have a landing.
Go around again.
Nice and steady your turns.
I did say try.
Yeah, just over there in it, it looks.
Yeah.
Can't tell. You can't tell one from other, can you? No.
What's the overall tune on that?
It's a bit hard. Go around again.
Coming down a bit. I think extra weight or old blues made it better. Yeah, it seems to have, doesn't it?
And I'm barely touching the throttle on this. It's only, I'm probably barely above 50%.
No, I'm not doing anything. Yeah.
That was one hell of a recovery.
It was,
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I'm going home now. Thanks, Nathan.
No worries. Is that why you come out in baggy shorts?
Yeah.
Hardly any throwing it. That was one hell of a recovery. It was.
So there we go, guys. I eventually got it into the air, and we did have another flight that day. So I'll just put you a little bit more of that flight on. There we go. Once again, Nathan's doing the honours. Went off at, I think that's having too much movement on the horizon. So this was the second flight, but the landing wasn't as good as the first one. So if I just take it through a little bit. And if you keep an eye out just in the far corner, I'll put a pointer up to where it is. Yeah, it's difficult to see. I just slowed it down too much and turned it, and it's just. So I'm thinking, oh, what sort of state it's going to be in now?
You just gave it too much.
So, let's have a walk down and have a look. There we go. There she's just. Oh, you can see, I almost got on the field.
Pretty tough, these 3D printed planes.
Need to be.
This one does.
So there we are, guys. That's the Grom, which eventually got to launch. What I think the problem's been is the motor's quite powerful, and when I was using the auto launches before, I was having it set quite high, probably about 3/4 throttle, and on the launches, on the successful launches, I've been only giving it about 50% throttle, and it seems to go away a treat there. I've since made some alterations on the rates to calm the ailerons down a bit, and so she'll be going again. I did manage to get a little bit of onboard footage, but I had the DVD recorder just on one channel out, and so I'll be going again this weekend with it, guys, to see how it goes. I'll not put any more video up of it because you'll probably be bored of it by then, but once I get it fully trimmed out, I'll make a new fuselage, and I've got another one to make soon as well, a Gremlin. That's a smaller one, and that's going to be made a lightweight PLA, but that's probably going to be a little while off. So hope you found that enjoyable. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.